Hey guys, today we're going to do a pretty simple tutorial for this heart bookmark. It uses Tunisian crochet, and the colorwork technique is similar to the intarsia colorwork technique used in knitting. But this is pretty simple and beginner friendly. This is what the back of the bookmark looks like, and here's the front. To do this, we're going to be using this chart here, and then we want 2 balls of white, 1 ball of purple. I'm using a 3.0 millimeter needle. I also have scissors and a darning needle. We're going to be working this chart back and forth this way, and to start, you see we have 10 blocks here. We need to start with 10 chains. So there's my 10 chains, and to get this nice looking border on the side, what you want to do is kind of flip your chain over to the back and work in the back loops of the chain. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert my hook into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, and have that up on my hook, and then go into the next back loop of the next chain and do that all the way across. Once you've gone all the way across, you should have 10 loops on your hook, and these 10 loops represent these 10 white blocks going down here. And to work our way back, we're just going to yarn over and pull through that first loop, and then all the way back we're going to be yarning over and pulling through 2 loops. Alright, we've completed the first row, which was just all white blocks. Our next row, we need 1, 2, 3 white blocks before we start with our purple yarn. So we need 3 loops on our hook, but after we have 2, we're going to go ahead and attach the purple yarn. To do this, grab your yarn and then just put it on top of the working white yarn, and then continue as usual, inserting your hook and pulling up a loop. And now we're going to put the white yarn down and lift the purple yarn. The purple yarn should be on top of the white yarn now. And then you're going to insert your hook and pull up the purple yarn. And from our chart, you can see 1, 2, 3. We should have 3 purple loops on our hook, but then we have to go ahead and attach the second white yarn once we have 2 on our hook. So grab a second string of white yarn, put it on top of the purple yarn, and then go ahead and insert your hook, yarn over and maybe hold down the white yarn over and pull up the purple, and now you've locked the second white yarn to the back of the piece. You're gonna put the purple yarn down, and with the white yarn on top, you're going to complete this row. Now time to work the row back. When you're working your row back, you don't even need to look at this chart. I'll show you how you know when you switch colors. So go ahead, pull up 1 loop, and then go through 2 on your way back. And then when you reach an area where you have 2 different colors, that's when you know it's time to switch colors. To do that, we're going to put our white yarn down, and from behind, here's the purple yarn. We're going to lift it up. It should go over that white yarn, locking it in place. We'll then continue with the purple, so you see alternating colors. Here we go. Put the purple yarn down, pull up the working white yarn from that side over, should be going over the purple yarn, and then continue. And that's how we're going to read this chart going across for this first block of the heart bookmark. So our next row, we should have 2 white loops and then 5 purple. I'll go ahead and show you the start of that one. So here's 1 white loop, and we have 2, and now according to our chart, we should have 5 purple. So I will put the white yarn down, pick the purple yarn up over the white yarn, and continue with the purple for 5 loops. And now we gotta finish with 3 white, so put the purple down, and then find on the back of your work the working white on this side. It will be going over on top of the purple. So we're gonna work our way back just like we did on the previous row. Yarn over and pull through that first loop, and then on the way back you yarn over and you pull through 2 loops until you see different colors. So here we go, white, purple. Put your white yarn down against the work and then pull the purple up to go over the top of the white. And then keep working until we see purple and then white. Put the purple yarn down and then pull up the white yarn over top of the purple and continue with the white. And there's the end of our 3rd row of the heart bookmark, and you're going to continue with each row. I will meet you back after row 8. Okay, so I've just completed row 8, and I'm going to show you the final row, which is just going to be all white, no changing colors, but I do still like to pick up the other yarns. I think it's just a personal preference of like locking them one more time, even though at the end you will be weaving in those ends, so I just kind of twist that around before doing that white one. Here's this white one. We're not switching colors. I'm just gonna twist this up and bring our working yarn kind of up and around it like that, and then continue with the same white yarn across. And then we're gonna work our way back just like normal. Oopsie, I accidentally went through 2. Okay, and then we're not quite done yet. We need to do a row where we just do like what kind of slip stitches. So you pull this up and then pull it through that loop, and do another one, pull it up, also go through that loop. So I think this is like a slip stitch bind off or something like that for Tunisian crochet, and just go all the way across, and then we get to cut our 3 pieces of yarn. Then move on to the next block, which will be different from this one because we're going to attach it as we go and not sew it on later. So there's the completed first block, and then gonna cut that yarn, pull up a loop. Then on the back side, we just need to cut the purple and white, and we'll sew these in later. There's the first block, our bookmark. So we're not going to be making another first block because then we would have to weave all of these together. Instead, we're going to do something a little different. So I've gone ahead and made a slip knot with the white yarn. So what I like to do is count up from this bottom corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll insert our hook into this loop right here of the 9th chain we made at the very beginning of the first square. And then take our slip knot and put it on the hook and pull that through. And then I like to make, then after this, instead of 10 chains like we did for this beginning block, we're only going to do 9. And same as with the beginning one, we want to be working into that back bump of the chain. So here's what the front of the chain looks like, and then you turn it around and we've got these back bumps. And we're going to work all the way back. And you'll see why we only did 9 chains. And don't forget to do the first chain. After you've done that, you should have 9 loops on your hook. But we're not done with this row. Now, looking at this top part of this square, you see these, it looks like a chain running across. You're going to go into the back loop of the first one, and then yarn over and pull through that, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops all the way back. So this border kind of acts as our 10th chain. And we're gonna continue working this just as we did for the first one, following this grid and using this top border of this, using this back loop of the top chain here as our 10th white loop. Just to show the process again, I've got 2 loops left to work here, so here's a normal one, and then here's our last funky one. We're going into the back loop of this stitch, pulling through, and then that's kind of the end of this row, so we'd pull through 2 on our way back, just as before. This is the 5th row, and it can feel a little funny since there's only one white block on the bottom, so I will demonstrate that one as well. So here I am, I need to do one more purple loop. And then we have just one white loop, and we're still gonna switch colors for this, so purple down, white working yarn over the purple, and then insert your hook into the previous block stitch, yarn over and pull through. And then since there's already white and then purple, that means we switch back to the purple. So put the white yarn down, purple up over the white from the back, and then continue as usual. Okay, I'm working the slip stitch bind off row now because I want to show you how to get a clean edge on this side. So I'm going to work through the last loop of this with a slip stitch, and then I'm going to cut the yarn, pull it up, and then I'm going to attach the darning needle. You could just use your crochet hook for this though. So we're gonna go into underneath this chain, what looks like a chain stitch here, underneath both loops of that. And then on our previous chain stitch on this side, we're gonna go through the middle of it, like this. And now you have what pretty much just looks like a continuous chain border on this side. And then you'll continue with the other 2 hearts just as you did for this one, and at the end you'll weave in these ends. So I hope you like this tutorial. Thanks for watching.